It's been a while.
It has been a while.
You look amazing.
I look amazing. You look.
What have you been up to? Your show?
Oh, yes.
What's going on?
Yes, the show, the summit. I'm working on the foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm back in school. It's
when I called you.
Yeah.
I could hear somebody in the back. And
Yeah.
I'm in class. I'm so sorry.
I know. I feel sorry for myself.
I mean, I'm stepping your class. Come on now.
Sometimes, like, who sent you?
But it's good. You're doing a master's?
Yes. We are in media.
Yes.
But I have nothing media. I have nothing media. I have English, I have sociology, I have law. I don't have media. Mm-hmm. So, I thought to myself, if you are doing this, you might as well do it.
Might as well do it.
So I'm in GIJ. I'm trying to take. He's well. He's your boo. He's well.
Girl,
He's well. He's well.
Green is a color for you, honestly.
No. Coming from you, I'll take it.
Honestly.
I'll take it.
Now, so, do you feel like being in the media, right? Do you feel like pressure to, I remember some time ago, I think it was One Love or something. He was like, listen, I'm just an entertainer.
Right.
I didn't set out to be a role model for your kids.
Right.
So please don't put that pressure on me.
Right.
Right? And he was able to put it out there. But I feel the pressure. There's certain things that I wish I could do.
Yeah.
But because of where I find myself and the space I find myself, it's so hard for me to be as crazy and expressive as I want to be. Do you feel the same way too?
Absolutely. There's pressure. Who says there's no pressure? There's a lot of pressure. There's too much pressure. Oftentimes we tell ourselves that we have these conversations and it's just us and, it's just us. But we know that it's not just us. Yeah. We know. Yeah. Even as we sit and try to be cool and chill no, it's lots of people weighing every word, weighing what you're wearing, weighing what you look like, weighing who they think you are. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. And it gets worse in our day. In the past, you do your job and you go home. Now, you do your job and it's not enough.
Yeah.
People want to see the other side of you.
Yeah.
They want to find you on Instagram. Yeah. They want to see what you eat.
Yeah.
They want to see what you do when you're not on screen.
I don't like it because I feel like when we were growing up, right? It's so interesting because what made celebrities celebrated is the fact that we hardly saw them. We don't know what they are.
The mystery. The mystery.
Now everything is being stripped off because you still want to. I don't know. It's like it's pressure because you want to remain mysterious.
Okay,
but at the same time, you still want to also appeal to.
So let me say right here now, I am not a celebrity. Let me just say that I do not. And you see, I am very conscious not to be.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I don't do red. I don't do red carpets. There are some events you won't find me. There are some issues. I'm out of it. Like I try. It's hard because once there's a camera in front of you, that's what you do. There's a temptation to sort of let the camera be in your head and be in your heart. And I try to let the camera be the job. So once I'm done with that job, I'm out.
But would you say that particularly women have it harder than men?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For us, it's everything. It's everything. It's from what you look like to what you believe in, to what you don't believe in, to who you are with.
And you're not afraid to share.
It's everything.
Well, you know what?
It's everything. Cheers to us. Cheers to that.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Nope.
It's been too long.
Too long.
How long? Like, too long.
Too long.
How have you been?
I've been good. You've been fabulous.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to keep up with you. You look amazing. When I called you yesterday, you said you were almost whispering.
Yeah.
And I could hear somebody in the back, and I'm like, sorry, where are you? After I had a whole conversation, what's wrong with me and boundaries? But I said, oh, are you busy? Sorry, But after I've had a whole conversation, I'm like, please, where are you? I'm in class. I'm sorry. Jocelyn, oh gosh. You're back in school?
I am back in school. I send myself every day.
It's okay.
Who sent you? It's
It's okay.
It is okay. It's okay. This is that, well, nah, but yeah.
So you're studying something in
Yes, media
Okay.
management.
Interesting.
Media management.
And one would think that you already have the experience. So why do you need to go back to school for that, right?
That's why you need to go to school. I was having a conversation with Johnny Hughes and Francis Saban, a long time ago. And then I think it was Johnny who said, the problem with our media these days is that a lot of them don't have formal training.
It's true.
I say, hey, my guy.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So at some point I felt like, if you are doing it, then you might as
You might as well. I think because of,
do it.
the times we're in as well, it's easier for you to decide that, once I have a nice camera and I know the angles and I'm invited to places, I have a friend who's always somewhere taking big videos. And I'm like, dude, why don't you become a blogger? Because that's what you're doing. You're already video blogging. So why don't you just do it? And it's like, yeah, that's true. No formal training sometimes makes it a little difficult. You need to learn the ethical side of
you
things.
need to know.
Yeah.
You need to know. You really do need to know.
Yeah.
They say that the best professionals oftentimes are not the ones who have the paper.
Paper, right?
But if you have the practice and you can add the paper, why not?
But do you actually feel like a bit pressured, being in the limelight?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
You ever think that you're even going to like
No.
same as me, girl? I was like, let me just do this quietly and go home. But I realized that people actually begin to recognize you. And
People care. They care about you behind the scenes. They care about you not in front. They care. And I was having this conversation the last. I was saying that gone are the days that people love you for what you do on screen.
Yeah.
No, now they want to fall in love with your personality.
Yeah.
Who you are outside of the screen.
Yeah.
They want to know where you live.
Yeah.
Who you wear.
Yeah. I mean,
Your partner is.
I prefer I prefer growing up how, when you see a celebrity, you're like, this person, I love this person, the mystery about this person. I wonder where the person lives. I wonder what he eats. But now, I think some time ago, I saw on Instagram, Eric Benet in a bathtub with pearls on his neck.
Too much.
And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, dude, like the way I it was just too much for me.
Too much information.
Oh, wow.
Too much.
Okay. I see. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, good
We
to
need
see.
to know all that.
We don't need to know all that, honestly. Anyway, like it's too much. Like leave some. Remain the mystery that you are.
Mystery.
Yeah. But now we find ourselves having to follow the times because everybody wants to, like you said, fall in love with your personality and what you are on screen.
Yeah.
But as a woman, it's tough, isn't it?
It is tough. It is. It's tough enough to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That's tough enough.
Yeah. And then now you have to like create content and put it out there as a woman.
So it's like one big, what do they call it? What they have a name for this lifestyle. Help me out.
One big what?
This is where cameras follow you your whole day, your whole
Reality.
life, like a reality.
Yeah, sure.
It's like your whole life is reality TV.
Yeah.
Can't do that. I can't do that.
One of the things that made me a little, feel a little funny when Whitney Houston was concerned was the fact that growing up, I loved her and I saw her as this iconic voice. And then she did a reality show with Bobby, and I realized that, she was calling Bobby, and I'm thinking, wow, I mean, I didn't envision Whitney to sound like that because I felt like she sounded like the way she sang. Do you get? But now with the reality show, it's like she opened up, and I'm like, man, she rest in peace, though. Greatness to do it. But yeah.
Sometimes it's just too much information.
It's too much information. When does it even become too much information?
It's too much.
You know what I mean?
I think that there's a line, and for me, the line is when you feel you have to do more.
Yeah.
The minute you have to step outside of yourself and do more and be more, that's the problem.
Cheers to being a woman.
Cheers.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Cheers. See the way I was struggling. and then trying to remember what reality shows are.
You know, I have a problem with reality shows as well. Like, as much as I'm out there, I try to also keep a few things a little private. So once I hear the word reality, I'm thinking, oh my God, how much of myself am I going to put out?
That reminds me. You see the one that came out, the rich, young, and
Yes.
You know, we're rooting for you to go represent Ghana.
Well, please, you're rooting for the wrong person because I don't know. I'm just, you know, I think it's interesting because a lot of times I like to treat what I do as work, you know, the acting and this talk and everything as work. And then once I'm done, I like to leave it as work and then go back and be be just.
Okay, but this would be like a civic duty because we need a Ghanaian to go and represent. Like,
But you had a Ghanaian.
Okay, she's done her bit.
So
now,
we need to
now.
Okay.
You know.
Well, I'll think about it.
Think about it.
You will go with me. We'll go
no.
You be my bestie.
No.
You know, these shows are scripted.
Yes, they
So
are.
you be my bestie on the
No.
show. Come on now.
No. You don't want those besties.
Why not? Are you boring?
On a show, very.
No. You can't tell me that your beautiful red shoe and your green combination, you're boring. There's no way.
This is as exciting as it gets. That's it.
This is exciting enough.
That's it. But you just spoke about acting. So do you remember the time when I sent you that message? I must have been in London. I watched your movie. I've forgotten the title of the movie.
Is it
you and the eighth one. You had eight.
Oh, Love or something like that. I know.
And as soon as I finished watching the movie, I was like, where's my phone?
I know.
I need to send her a message.
Thank
I
you.
sent you a message.
I know, I saw that. When I see those things, it's so wholesome for me because, you know, a lot of times you feel like...
fantastic actress.
Thank you.
I think we don't give you enough credits for that.
Oh, thank
and that's
you.
a shame.
I really appreciate this. This is, you know, your father's daughter. Because he always reminds me, anytime he sees me, of how I'm doing such an amazing job. And he's so endearing and so honest with his compliments. So thank you. You are really your father's daughter.
Yeah, no, so the acting was hope. Like, I mean...
Oh, I'm still acting. I've done quite a few things. I mean, I've done a couple of series. I'm yet to go and shoot another movie. GLAM. I was like, I'm doing it. But, you know, maybe it's more on Netflix. That's why a lot of us are not seeing it locally. But we're working on that. You know, but thank you.
That was an amazing movie.
I know. You know, I saw
very emotional.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I saw a couple, I think at the airport some time ago, and the man just stopped me and said, Jocelyn. I said, yes. He said, I thought I had done something. He said, Jocelyn, you had me and my wife looking at each other suspiciously like, okay, we need to go and do the HIV test. So now what's going on? Like, we need to. And I was like, oh my God, mission accomplished. That was the idea behind it. No, but thank you.
That was beautiful.
Now, let's get into it. It's about you and everything else. But listen, I remember I asked you some time ago if you were a feminist.
Yes.
And then you said yes.
Yes.
Through and through.
Yes.
You know, I want you to tell me who a feminist is and what a feminist does. Because I don't consider myself a feminist.
I know. Listen, at the core, let's strip out everything. Let's take out everything. Let's take out all the theories. Let's sort of strip feminism to its core.
Yeah.
It's simply about men and women flourishing.
Okay.
That's it. Really, that's it for me.
Okay.
Right? And for me, the reason why feminism even comes up is because we live in a world globally where the man's place is cemented. The man's power is celebrated as against the woman.
The woman. Right.
So feminism is not saying that now let's put the man on the bench, or the back burner and bring the woman forward. It's simply saying that let's appreciate the woman too. Let's put them together. Let's have a four-legged table that is strong enough and can stand. For me, that's the essence of feminism.
So it's almost like seeking for equality between the man and the woman.
Equality, equity.
But if we're saying that anything a man can do, a woman can do better, then, doesn't it promote some form of misogyny between the male and the female? Because a lot of people, if you don't understand that sentence very well, like everything a man can do, a woman can do better, if you're not careful, then you go on the other. It's a very thin line.
I appreciate what you're saying. For me, it's like the Black and Proud movement as well. In the Americas, it was like a fight back. It's when the Black has been told, so many times that you can't.
You marginalize,
Then the black now stands up and says, I'm black and proud.
Yeah.
So it's because it's pushed back, it sort of takes on a life of its own. It goes a little extra. That for me is what would be the essence of a woman can do it and do it better.
Yeah.
Because really the do it better doesn't even arise, right? It's equality, it's equity.
Yeah.
But you add the better for emphasis to say that, listen,
Don't leave us behind.
Yeah.
But doesn't it take away from the biblical terms of a man being the head of the household? I mean, listen, the Bible says, girl, I need to reference that. The man being the head, but the man, the Bible says that women submit to your husbands, right? Wives submit to your husbands,
right?
And then husbands should love the wife as Christ loved the church,
right?
Now, not even taking away from the fact that feminism, and I'm not trying to even toot my horn, but now that you say what feminism is, I am a feminist. Okay, girl, through and through. But I feel like when you say submit to your husband, it just means that you're submitting, not being a doormat for the man to walk all over you, but you're submitting your ideas and everything else that you come with to the man, because you're trusting that when you entrust those ideas into the man's hands, he is going to now make it into whatever it is that you want it to be. It's a teamwork, right? So that is what I understand by submission, but not by the man lording his manhood over you.
But let's think around it this way, Jocelyn. Love by itself, at the essence of love is submission.
Yeah.
Right? Because like
submission from both parts.
Love is submission, full stop. If I love you, I should be able to do anything and everything for you, right? Cooking for someone I live with because I love him and I care about him. For me, it's not a chore. It doesn't take away from me.
Yeah.
It's not demeaning. It doesn't reduce me or reduce my essence. It's service.
Yeah.
And love really is service.
Act of service.
Right? Yeah. And if I say I love you, now be you a man, a woman, my friend, my brother, my mother, my husband, my whoever, if I love you, I should be able to let go of self to some extent for you. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's not about he's bigger than me. It's because I love him.
Yeah.
I choose to. That's it for me. So submission, when the conversation around submission goes on, I'm like, nobody has time for this. It's not me serving you. It's not me reducing my... No, not at all. But if I love you... Listen, I say this story all the time. When I must have been in my third year, Volta Hall, my friend Jane, and I say this, every chance I get. I remember having diarrhea. Forgive the graphic nature of what I'm about to say, right? And not having water in Volta Hall. So I went with her to the graduate hostel. She took me to the graduate hostel. She spoke to somebody in the graduate hostel, took the person's keys to the washroom. And I would, go do my business. And she would be the one to go fetch water. And back and forth. We had exams the next day.
Yeah.
And, till today I remember her for this. And it had nothing to do with me being superior over. Yeah. These are two girls, both in the university, roommates. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was helping you.
That's it.
Yeah.
That for me is the essence of love. Yeah. Now, there's nothing that Jane needed then or would need tomorrow that I wouldn't do for her.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not because Jane is the man and I'm the woman or Jane is superior. No, it's love.
Yeah.
Finish. Yeah. That's it. So for me, in male-female relationships, I come at it with love. I don't come at it with roles.
Yeah.
Because if you come at it with roles, you get it wrong. He's the man, I'm the woman. That's a waste of everything.
Yeah, but I think society now is doing that.
That's where we get into trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you are the man and you are the man and tomorrow you lose your job, you have to continue being the man.
You must find another one.
You have to continue being the man.
If you lose your job, you must find another one.
You are my love. And I'm your love, and you lose your job. I got you, baby.
Yeah, but you see, some school of thought will say that a lot of times when, strong-willed women are the ones, bringing in the bread, for instance, they lord it over the men because it is not a normal thing as per even what the Bible says, as per society says, that the woman should be the provider.
That's when we are role-playing. We get into those difficulties when we role-play.
Yeah.
Because if I have to play a role, I will play my role. It's easy. I play my position. It's so easy to do. Come into a marriage. come and cook.
Yeah.
That's something I do anyways.
Yeah.
Cook, serve you,
Yeah.
be nice, play nice,
Yeah.
act dumb. Who can't do that? That's easy.
But you can't do
that
that for a long time if you're not naturally a dumb person.
and let you provide. Who doesn't want to be?
But you can't. I mean, I can't even do that for a very long time because I'm not naturally the type of person who would sit back and, but I think that also, are you dating?
I'm married.
Oh, good.
You know that.
Yes. So my thing is, for me, right, it's hard for me to, it's difficult because a lot of men feel like, once you are so strong a personality, you are not submissive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, she's doing everything for herself. So where do I come in? So that's where the problem is as well. You see what I'm saying? That's where the role. So society has made it in such a way that role playing is normal.
That's the thing. That's why feminism is important.
Yeah.
That's why all of us should be feminists. That's why all of us should say that I am woman, I am enough, and I'm here.
You see, I'm coming to another one. I am woman, I am enough, I am here.
I'm here.
But then a lot of women who are feminists don't understand that I am woman, I am enough, I'm here. So some sort of thought to say, at the end of the day, a lot of women who are shouting up and down that I'm a feminist, they go home and they're so lonely. There's no man because they're shouting up and down. Whatever you do, you need a man. So that's where the role comes in as well, because you can be comfortable in who you are as a single woman.
Yes.
And there shouldn't be anything wrong with that.
Oh, no.
But we all need companionship.
Oh, you see, at the heart of feminism is choice, right? Whatever I am, if it's my choice,
you have to respect that.
That's good enough. At the heart of feminism is you as the woman having agency to choose your life for yourself, so that it's not society, it's not anybody telling you to be something that you're not. It's why we believe women should be free to wear what they want, be half naked if they want to, be married if they want to be, not to be married if they. That's what I'm saying.
It's your choice to say that.
Your choice.
I don't want to have kids, or I don't want to marry.
It's your choice.
And it's okay.
Society should not police women. So far as
you're able to live with the consequences.
That at the basis of feminism is agency. It's the ability of the woman to choose for herself who she wants to be, what she wants to be. Now, if I choose to be married and I choose to serve my husband, I'm feminist. That's my choice.
Yeah.
If I choose to not be married and I choose to not submit, I'm a feminist. That's it's choice. In as much as it's yours and you're owning it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why we hate body shaming.
Yeah.
That's why we hate slut shaming. That's why feminism will, we would come at you if you come at a woman for being indecently dressed. It's absolutely none of your business. It's her choice. Provided she hasn't been
where
asked.
do you draw the line? Because you see, it takes a village, right?
Take a village.
So if I see a woman and I think she's indecently dressed and I go for her, I mean, you shouldn't come for me because morally she's half exposed. And growing up, what I know is that it takes a village. I mean, when I was growing up, there was a little boy who was crossing the street and he was nearly knocked down by a taxi. The taxi driver got down, took the boy, gave him on his back, put him in his car, took him home, and when he got home, the mother also. Do you get what I'm saying? That little boy is my cousin. But what I'm trying to say is, it takes a village. It takes somebody who knew him from nowhere, but he had to teach him a lesson that when you're crossing the street, you need to be careful, so that next time, it might not be a near accident, but you could die. And then when he came home, Manti also gave him a little bit. Boy, where were you going? Come on, sit down. So you understand? So if you see somebody indecently dressed, it's the onus is on you as, let's say, an adult female or an adult male to say, young lady, just
cover up. Let's have this conversation. What's more important? Which for me is what it comes down to. What's more important? What a woman looks like, or what's here and what's here?
But what you see first is what you look like.
That's the mistake we make. That's the mistake we constantly
If I want to speak to you, the first thing that will make me want to walk up to you is the way you're looking, the way you look.
But
appearance is also important.
I agree with you, absolutely.
So you could have so much in there, but the way you look is going to make someone look at you and think, oh my goodness, this person.
But you see, who is to say what's right and what's wrong? Who is to say? let's take somebody like Rihanna, right? I mean, take Rihanna, take Shamanda Ngozi Adichie, I want to put a scope of,
What's the Nigerian writer's name again? Chidima. Yeah.
I mean, what they look like, it's a representation of what's here and what's here. And we need all of that. We can't all be professors.
Of course.
We need the sugar and the spice. We need it all.
Yeah.
We need the crazy. Listen, we need it all. So what somebody looks like is what that person is also bringing. It's a color. We can't all be blue.
Rihanna she's an entertainer. She said,
That's what I'm saying.
So that is what. But imagine if you just see a regular girl whose role model is Rihanna, and she wants to dress like her. She doesn't sing. She doesn't do anything.
You see, this
and then she suddenly decides that I'm going to wear some skimpy thing when there's no bodyguard around me, bodyguarding my thighs and everything, and then I'm going to look all skimpy.
This is when women empowerment comes in.
Okay.
And why it's crucial and why it's important. The theories are all out there. There's freedom. There's so much freedom to be anything you want to be, and but there's also the need to prune and sort of streamline, so that we don't take those freedoms and run amok. Because when we do that, then there will be chaos. I appreciate that completely.
Of course. Yeah.
So first of all, there's a need for an appreciation of the freedoms that exist, that you can be, But then after we understand that first step of you're free, you can be, you can do, you can. Then we also have to appreciate the need for pruning those freedoms and sort of channeling, that free spirit that we want to sort of encourage and all of that. And for me, that's what women empowerment is about. It's then taking that feminism and making sure that it's balanced.
It's balanced.
It's balanced.
Balance. That's the word.
Yeah.
Balance. Because you can't dress in a certain way and go to church.
You can't run amok.
You can't run amok. Of course not. Because at the end of the day, somebody would look at you and judge you wrongly. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I was saying that, on Sunday that a lot of times people look at you and what you do and they judge you based on what you do without realizing the kind of relationship you even have, whether it's spiritually or whether you want to call yourself a Christian or whatever you believe in. Nobody knows the kind of relationship you have. But when people see you doing certain things or you find yourself in a certain profession, they immediately assume that you are a heathen or you've sold your soul to the devil and whatever because of the way you look. And that is something that we need to really check as a society.
We are majoring in the minors. Yeah. Honestly, there are things that need to concern us. There are bigger issues for us to, contend with. And sometimes I find that as a society, all of us are chasing the wrong things. All of us are having, sometimes I wonder about our collective outrage.
Honestly.
You go to Facebook and everybody's angry about an issue and you're like, this is the one thing that has everybody angry. How about this one?
This one.
And that one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, we need to continually check ourselves and the things that annoy us. Because there are real issues that we need to deal with.
Absolutely.
They are bread and butter issues.
Bread and butter issues.
There are issues that affect goes to the heart of our existence, who we are, where we are going, what we are. There are real issues that need to bother us and have us all angry and up in arms.
Yeah.
The ones that do, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah, like really. But the thing is, if you don't tackle the ones that you feel like are not necessary, you might not have the heart to tackle the bigger ones. So we start from somewhere. But speaking of like equal pay,
right,
and feminism,
right.
A school of thought will say that look, a lot of women, when you hire a woman in a corporation, she's going through PMS, she's going through her period, right. she has a baby, she has maternity leave, and But with a man, it's 365 days a year, and you got him.
He's there.
So he has to make a little bit more than the woman, even though, the woman's input is way more than the man's input, or even if they have equal input, So where do we even draw the line? Because at the end of the day, if as a company, I want to actually maximize my, on my workers. So if I'm every now and then, every 3 months or every month, there's something happening to a woman, it's going to affect my productivity.
My answer to that is continuity. If women stop giving birth, what happens to humanity? If you don't want us to continue giving birth, we can stop. Let's all stop. Let's sit down.
We can't stop. We have to stop.
Let's stop and sit down. No, the truth is that there can be only 2 genders on this thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, forgive me, all the L and Q and R and, forgive me. But there can be only 2, right? Men women, only one of us can have the kids. That's the women.
Yeah.
So if I'm having the kids, don't let it be me having the kids.
Yeah.
Let it be us having the kids. Because if I stop having the kids, that's the end. That's full stop. So a woman taking a break to go have a child, look at it through the lenses that you need to look at it through. Because if you look at it through the lens of that particular woman and that specific, you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Look at it as the continuity of humanity.
That's it.
Once you do that, then there's an appreciation of why it needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
You think I want to go and give birth? You know how painful that process is.
Girl. But once the baby comes, you look at the baby and you're like,
It's worth
it's all worth it. I'll do it again and again. Do you think yourself a role model?
Oh, that's a good one. Do I? I have to be. I believe that there are so many spaces, right? And if you don't fill up those spaces, it would get filled. And sometimes it will get filled in ways that are detrimental.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, we all have to be. We all have a responsibility to ourselves, you know, to this generation, to the next generation, to do what we can. And if doing what you can simply means being the best version of yourself, then by all means do that.
Do that. Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying that because of where you find yourself, the space you find yourself, or anybody can be a role model, obviously, in your own little corner, like, you know, right in the corner where you are. But do you feel, because like I was saying earlier on, I remember one love said to, you know, on one of his interviews that, listen, I'm an entertainer. I'm not trying to be a role model. When people were coming at him for walking bare feet and all that good stuff, I was like, listen, this is me. I'm just being authentic, true self. I didn't set out to be a role model. I set out to be an entertainer. So you check your kids. I'm not the one who's supposed to come and check your kids.
Let's think about it for a second. I find him to be needed.
Yeah.
I find, you know, one love to be somebody that this society needs.
Yeah.
We can't all be one way.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
No, we need to be open-minded enough to allow for black,
Difference. Yes.
and orange and green, and you know. So I mean, I don't understand why he's saying that.
No, because of the, you know, society immediately, even for me, sometimes I feel like there's certain things
Too much pressure.
Yeah, I want to do, but then, you know, Charlie, because, yeah, but you can't do that too, because, you know, that's not the right thing to do. The young people are watching, even for instance, the ban on celebrities, ever endorsing alcoholic beverages. So I'm thinking, okay, can it not be a choice?
That was a bit much.
Yeah, because I personally may not want to do it, but the next person may want to do it. But if you're putting it in writing and making it a law, you're saying that, you know, you cannot do any alcoholic because you are a role model to young people, then that's unnecessary pressure you're putting on.
But you see, then why don't you just go ahead and ban alcohol?
Right?
Alcohol is such a devil.
Yeah.
It should, let's do away with it. Let's make it go away. So nobody feels the need to advertise for it. But if you'd allow alcohol, and alcohol finds itself into a budget every budget year. What kind of hypocrisy?
And that is where one love comes in and says, listen, I mean,
a hypocrite.
Even me myself, I need a role model in my life. Honestly, like every day I'm learning something new. Do you understand? So don't give me that pressure of telling me that my kids are looking up to you. So what? I should. If you can't keep your kids in check at home,
so that's on you.
Charity begins at home. Let's do that. Let that happen. But don't make it on me. Don't put it on me. And I think that is where the whole role model thing.
We need the non-conformists. We need them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
We need the people that would shout as loud as they can and question everything.
Like you're doing with feminism.
We need people to play outside the lines every now and then. It's important. We need a mirror to society.
Yeah.
Somebody to consistently question and check us. It's important.
We're not doing enough of that actually. Everybody is trying to be politically correct.
Everybody's trying
to be included. Good. Listen, because when they come for you, they come for you. Because of social media, when they come for you, you see all the comments. You're like,
it's like I was having a show with a lady one time, and I was going on, you know, losing my mind about a particular song. For your sake, I will mention the song. Hate the song with passion, right? And I was going on, but I was ranting, and she was like, "Hey, I tried this thing with this same song. What they did to me, it's like, but have you not been hearing me? I've been ranting about this song forever." Because sometimes, when it's not right, some of us need to, voice
it out.
say that. Charlie,
That is why you
this
have the
one-
platform. Yeah.
This one is not. It's not on.
Yeah. Well, let's continue voicing out what is not right.
Yes.
Unashamedly, and not even be afraid
No.
to do that, because, like you said, the generation now and the generation that are coming, they need this.
Yes.
What kind of legacy or examples are we leaving behind for them? So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you able to drink your drink?
No. We're just posing with it.